broadcast network, Afterbuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. Afterbuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Kaufmann. Now, let the buzz begin!
There it is. Hey guys, Afterbuzz TV here. This is Steve Kaufmann for the Extreme Rules After Show. I already said my name. I blew that a little too soon. I told Alexis to pick her favorite Fall Out Boy song from Under the Cork Tree. She chose this song, and we're just going to listen to it a little bit. I'm here, as always, with George Hermoza. George, where can the people find you?
You can find me at G Hermoza, and we have a special guest today.
We do.
It's Ryback. It's the big guy.
Oh, wow. You even do the voice?
You can follow me at Ryback22.
Well, Ryback, why do you always delete your tweets after you do them?
Because I get in trouble from the office.
But
They're
you don't
a bully.
They're the bullies, not you.
They're the bullies.
Okay. There we go. I'm in the chat roll right now. Yes, I am on the right show tonight. We are live on AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm in the chat roll right now. The chat roll just slipped me up, and that's what that blah was about. And please feel free to jump in on that chat roll. Let us know what you thought about tonight's Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
I thought it was called Extreme Rules.
No,
okay.
He wasn't even on the card. Curtis Axel, not even on the card. What else? Hashtag ABTV Extreme Rules. That's very important. Also, if you're listening...
I'll just put ABTV WWE.
That would work too, which is...
ABTV WWE PPV.
Okay.
It's a long one.
That's fair. They're both pretty long.
All right.
ABTV WWE PPV. That's a fairly generic one. I like that. And if you're listening to us on iTunes later in the day, please feel free to use that hashtag to let us know what you think, what you thought of what we said, all the fun things. Same with SoundCloud. Same if you're watching us on the YouTubes.
And if you want to try and stump me, go ahead and
That too.
hashtag stump George. I think last pay-per-view somebody tried to stump me.
Yes.
With like the amount of championship matches. I'm like, come on.
The championship changes at WrestleMania. That was a good one. And you counted them out. It was good. Yeah. So, yeah, let me know if you want to stump George. I private message you. Now that we've talked the whole room to death, let's get into this. Pre-show.
Pre-show.
We get
the
Neville.
usual recaps, etc.
The usual of an hour-long pre-show.
Renee,
you get the...
Who's hot? She's looking
love
good
Renee.
in the yellow.
Love Renee. I'm happy she's getting her own show.
She was looking good.
Yes.
I'd envy Dean Ambrose.
I do too.
Oh, wow.
I do too.
Are we into news and gossip so fast?
I don't know. I mean...
I think that's pretty well known. But, whatchamacallit, the only real thing of importance in this... There were two things of importance. One is Adrian Neville versus Wade Barrett. His name is Adrian Neville. People have first and last names, and
his
that's
name is
okay.
Bad News Barrett.
Bad News Barrett, yeah. Or Wade Barrett. Bad News Barrett. However you go, they hype up a lot that Wade Barrett's a five-time Intercontinental Champion, and that this match is a lot like William Regal versus Dynamite Kid, both in their prime.
I agree. It was definitely a fun, exciting match. Kind of bittersweet because that means Daniel Bryan, he's still a little hurt. You know, nobody wants to hear not just any wrestler specifically, but you know, Daniel Bryan obviously he had that big injury last year that kept him out for 9 months.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like same time, but you know, we were timing, you know, because it was like the same round.
Pretty much that maybe it's just hurt o'clock for Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure. Like we don't know very much information about what the injury is to Daniel Bryan.
They said at first it was like a concussion maybe, or maybe like the neck issue, or I mean, from what I heard, he was saying that I was listening to his interview with Chris Jericho on Jericho's podcast. He was saying not so much the neck, there's just no strength. Like he had no strength from from his left arm, I think it was. And if anybody knows wrestling, an important thing is to protect the other guy. And if you don't have strength in your left arm,
it's really difficult.
You know, yeah, exactly. So
Daniel Bryan's out, so we get this match on the pre-show, which means the tag match gets to be on the main card. For the first time in a while, like
good for Cesaro.
Like call me out on my math, but I'm pretty sure it's been a long time since we've had the tag match on the main card.
Feels like it's been a while.
But you can tell this is a pre-show match because midway through the match,
I think Fastlane is on the main card.
That feels right.
Oh,
that feels right.
Yeah.
Someone will let us know.
So it's like, oh,
quick.
what do you mean? It was only 2 months ago.
The way we know this is a pre-show match is that they cut a commercial in the middle of the match.
See, I don't get it. What was the commercial for?
The commercial was for the slew of things that are happening this week on the WWE
So
Network.
I'm watching the WWE Network, and they cut to a commercial of the WWE Network.
Now, here's the thing about the pre-show. The pre-show is available across many platforms.
Oh, really?
Many like I'm pretty sure.
That I didn't know.
Like that's like the free-for-all.
Okay, so anybody can watch it.
So anyone can watch that.
It all
Like
makes
that's
sense
the.
now.
Because that's why they like to do a big tag match to get a bunch of guys out there.
I didn't know that because I have the network, so why do I
Same
need
here.
to watch everything else?
Well, that's why I wait until about 5:30 to start watching anything. Don't tweet at me, guys. I turn off the alerts. But and they cut to a commercial, and the commercial talks about this big slew of stuff happening on the WWE Network.
Which we can talk about
this
later.
week. I think this is a good time to just get it out in the open. What they didn't even talk about is Renee Young's getting her own show. It's on there. It's happening, I think, next week, or it may have already happened. Renee Young is going to do it. And I'm so excited for that show. Jerry Springer, immediately after Raw tomorrow night, is going to be doing a clip show, it looks like.
And on Tuesday, the King of the Ring.
But Tuesday Live, the King of the Ring.
Which they said that they're going to start off the quarterfinals on Raw and then have the semifinals and the finals on Tuesday on the live event or however they called it.
I love that. Which will
cool.
probably be from wherever SmackDown is.
I guess we can go to the end, but already kind of want to start knowing what people think. Who people think is going to be the King of the Ring.
Let me know right now. And yes, Fastlane for the Fastlane for the last time tag match was on pay-per-view. A lot of that. A lot of CM Punk in there.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, that's we're not there yet. But what else were you excited? I watched Corey Graves' show.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's fun. It's a fun show.
It's like 10 minutes long.
It is. It's short, but he went to Marvel headquarters in New York. It was a great show. They come back from commercial, and also, I heard two different things. I heard one thing where it was Friday, and then one thing tomorrow after Raw, where they're going to re-show WrestleMania 20. They're going to re-show the match from WrestleMania 24 with Big Show and Floyd Mayweather. Friday seems right because Mayweather-Pacquiao is Saturday.
Yeah.
That would make sense. I have Mayweather. I get Mayweather. Sorry. Sorry, I get some flack.
I think Wednesday is that Mick Foley special that they just filmed Friday.
The Cheap Pops one that he filmed. So much cool stuff on the network. All worth buying. And we're back to the match. They were in a headlock the whole time. So if you're live at the Allstate Arena, does a match happen and then they still show this? I'm not sure. But Red Arrow, after a near fall, Neville over.
Yeah, were you surprised?
I
can't say I'm surprised.
Barrett winning.
I had Neville winning, so I can't say I was too surprised in my predictions. I don't know. It was just that last second thing. I was like, they can afford Barrett to lose. He lost all the time when he was the Intercontinental Champion. So
I disagree. I feel Barrett has lost enough that this was going to be unless he was going to lose. Unless it was going to be to elevate Bryan. The second I heard it was Barrett Neville, I was like, well, then you're gonna Barrett should win.
See, because
Neville doesn't need to constantly win.
Even if they didn't cancel the match, I still would have had Barrett losing. Just so the IC title can be on TV every week. But yeah, just once they said Neville, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Neville's going to win.
Good for you.
I mean, I didn't win anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Had you said New Day, which only Dale did, by the way.
I was closer to saying Ziggler over Sheamus than New Day. So I was like,
either of those things would have swung.
Yeah.
They were both, really big dogs. Because why bring back Sheamus? We'll get there. After this, Extreme Rules starts up.
It starts from Chicago, which, by the way, do you know the last time that... I'm actually looking this up, so I'm not that...
Okay.
I am. The last year that they weren't in Chicago for a pay-per-view was 2008. So every year after that, there were at least one pay-per-view in Chicago. I mean, I can't say, oh, I wish I had that, because we had SummerSlam every single year.
Yeah.
But still, it would have been nice to have, a random pay-per-view. I know we're going to have Hell in a Cell later this year, but, yeah, it would have been nice to have a Night of Champions or a Judgment Day like in 09,
I think they were more worried about bringing a huge one to us multiple times. And they did. Yeah. And now they don't.
Yeah.
But
we're getting Hell in a Cell, so.
We're getting Hell in a Cell. That's going to be cool. We get a Raw.
So good for Chicago.
We get a Raw in August.
They're in Chicago. No, they're not. That's a house show.
Is that a house show?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But they're in Chicago every 2 months,
There's a SmackDown in Anaheim. We're going to... for all you local folks who are watching us.
But if you hear that crowd, you can already hear why they're in Chicago like every 2-3 months. That's always a great crowd.
Always a great crowd.
A little bit more respectful too.
I love these graphics.
What?
Like very totalitarian, all about rules graphics.
If there's one thing they never ever get issues with, it's like the graphics or the video packages.
Or the production quality in general. They go over the top. Also, Fall Out Boy "Irresistible" is our song that we didn't playing in here. Fall Out Boy, native Chicagoans. So I just wrote Fall Out Boy equals Chicago. And one of the longest matches I've seen in recent memory is what starts off the show, and that's the Chicago Street Fight. Where pinfalls or submissions only count inside the ring. But it's a Chicago Street Fight. I'm not going to argue semantics. We get to have Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose. By the way, those of you who haven't seen it, Marquia McCarty, one of our many AfterBuzz hosts here, got to interview Luke Harper, and someone else on Facebook picked up that interview, and it got thousands upon thousands of play. You can go on our YouTube network and watch the video directly. If you haven't, Luke Harper is a great talker, and I hope we get to see him talk more.
Other than that,
like he can actually talk.
Yeah,
he can actually talk, and I think this match put him over enough that we should get to see more of him. Aside from just this mauler,
so. He can brawl too. Like he can brawl, he can wrestle. If you really think about it, he's kind of getting of a push. Like even though he's not winning, that doesn't always mean that you're not getting a push. If you really think about it, he's been on TV in like almost every pay-per-view like for a while. He was in WrestleMania. I mean that alone, he wasn't one of the 30 guys in the Battle Royal. He wasn't one of the 8 guys in the tag team. He's getting that. He's getting exposure against Dean Ambrose. Power bombing. Like
he's there.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I've always liked Luke Harper, even back to the Brody Lee days.
Oh, everything about him, and then the Wyatt, the fact somebody can break away from the Wyatts is just the strength of the Wyatts.
I'm sure Eric Rowan's like, oh, it could have been me.
Rowan still has a chance. Yeah. He just gotta beat people like the bad guys. Yeah, the bad guys get over way more easy. Minutes. We have chairs, chair shots, kendo sticks, more kendo sticks. That tornado DDT on the outside. Big fan. Also, the suplex onto the chair. That was an earlier spot where that I was so excited about that.
Do you want to talk about the whole match, or do you want to go in order?
What do you mean?
Because you know how the end of the match.
No, I'm gonna go in order of the show.
Okay.
So when people are watching this have already seen what happens. They get in a car and drive away.
Which is funny because, like, for example, I unfortunately I had another show to do at 6 o'clock from 7. So I was here. I saw the first match. Then Ziggler Sheamus, it froze, so I was like, oh, I gotta go back to it. But then it unfroze during the tag team match, and then from 6 to 7, I didn't watch the show, and then from 7 to 8, I watched the show. Then I went back and saw this Ziggler Sheamus match.
Wow!
And then I jumped ahead after the tag match because I guess that's when the match ended of the Harper and Ambrose. So
I'm gonna stay in the order that things happen.
Please.
Although it is funny, I didn't start till about 5:30, and this was the opening match. And when I went on the WWE Network to hit start from beginning, it showed me one frame of what was happening live.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper in the ring. So this was kind of spoiled for me that the second I heard, I was easily 56 minutes ahead. The second I heard that pinfalls or submissions must count in the ring, I was a little spoiled. But I was like, well, that's the only way. They're not going to let those guys go Broadway as much as I'd love to see it. But they have 7 other matches. That's just not going to happen. The story of this match was essentially that Luke Harper wanted to make Dean Ambrose fear him, and Dean Ambrose seems fearless.
Well, he went back. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see the pre-show aside from the Neville Barrett match?
I did not.
There was one part where during the panel, Dean Ambrose crashes it and just kind of.
I did see that GIF on Reddit.
So that was pretty cool. Like you can tell that like crazy lunatic is in there. The lunatic fringe. I'm sorry, lunatic fringe and. Just by the reaction, you can tell it's going to be a great night, great match, great fight.
And they brought their way behind the screen. They're in the back. They keep going towards the back, and they get into a big black truck. And Luke Harper drives the truck away. And then they have this awkward cut back to JBL, Cole, and King. And they just wait, so the match is still happening. The match is still happening. What's happening? We don't know. They try to transition, but it felt scripted. It felt okay, but I think it went on probably 20 seconds too long, and you could tell because that Chicago crowd started chanting CM Punk.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're gonna do if given the opportunity.
Just when you think that that chant is gone.
Well, you're
They're
in Chicago. And we cut backstage, Triple H on the phone, finds
them,
Kane,
yeah.
and tells Kane to just find them. They're on the streets of Chicago. Who knows what's going to happen? Find them. Seth Rollins walks in. Kane, Seth Rollins, they interact. Be the best way to put it.
Yeah,
We're setting, the usual. So they make it very clear in the pay-per-view right now that this match is still happening. It's going to be like Curtis Axel. It's going to be like anything else. This match is going on. And that's a perfect way to start a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Which is, this match was so insane, the ring couldn't contain it, and now they're having an actual Chicago street fight on the streets of Chicago, and they have to get back here for the fall.
Hopefully.
Also, I noticed in Googling, I found out that Seth Rollins is only 3 days older than me.
Really?
Yeah. And he's 6'5".
Really?
He
can't be. I don't think he's that tall.
He's 6'5". If you had asked me who the tallest person in the Shield was, I wouldn't say. Or,
he's 6'5"?
He's 6'5". He's 6'5", 217. He's still a skinny guy. Also, I'm calling it right now. Kane's gonna win Money in the Bank.
He's 6'5".
I know, right? Now we get the match we've all been waiting for.
The Kiss Me Arse match.
The Kiss Me Arse match. The PG.
Ryback told me that he's upset that he got bumped from the card. I mean, even though he was on the card, but not in the match. He's got bumped from a match for a Kiss Me Arse match. He was not happy.
I mean, Sheamus gets a big post-WrestleMania comeback.
Can I say how much I love Sheamus' new entrance?
I like Sheamus' new entrance. I like that Sheamus isn't a good guy anymore. My issue with this match and with Sheamus this month is that he's going after underdogs, as he says. Where it's like, oh, I'm going after underdogs. Yeah. It's like, well, but... And I think I had trouble grasping why I didn't believe it. It was like, I don't believe Dolph Ziggler is an underdog against Sheamus. I see them as equal.
Yeah.
I see them as equal, and I would believe this match more if they just played it as equals, but it was still a great match.
I mean, because if you think about Ziggler on merits alone, I guess Sheamus is a 3-time champion. Yeah, 3-time champion. Ziggler's only 2.
Yeah,
but
they're both.
They're still,
but in the regard that they're both former world champions who never held on to it very long or had very memorable reigns as world champions.
Or even so, just based on the totem pole itself. I mean,
yeah, like they're both equal.
Yeah,
they're both equal, and that's how
events.
And I mean, if you're talking physicality, they look roughly the same. Sheamus is taller, but like that was my one issue with the match, or with this the build up to the match. The match itself told a very good story, which was Dolph Ziggler likes to win, Sheamus likes to put up weird stipulations, and for the most part, Sheamus doesn't like to follow the rules.
Yeah, I was
or not.
I was a little surprised at Sheamus not going over in this match.
Me too.
I was not expecting.
I had Sheamus over, and I don't think any of us. I think
Kathy Kelly.
It was just Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was the only person who did not have Dolph Ziggler over here, or who had Dolph Ziggler over here. I had Sheamus over because why bring him back? Why do this whole thing? Also, Ziggler was wearing a really cool jean jacket, and I read an article on Vice today about a woman named Sandra Gray, who's been with the company like 20 years, and she's their seamstress.
Isn't she the one that's on Total Divas?
Possibly. I don't watch Total Divas.
Oh.
Her Twitter is @SGO Vintage. I'm giving her a plug because she does great work. Yeah. Most of the stuff you see on television is her.
Dude, if you really think about it, the only really main concern that people have with like the WWE is like creative. But everything else is... their wardrobe, the video package, the editing, the production, the lighting, like everything else is like fantastic.
Also strong at the WWE, but during this match specifically, was the "You look stupid" chant to Sheamus.
Well, he does.
That still exists.
Yeah.
He'll grow past it, but that still exists. The "Make You Humble" sign, I thought that was funny, and then the low bro kick.
Yeah. Are you not entertained?
And I started to notice here that either the crowd had been muted, or there was a certain level that the crowd wasn't into this match. And given that we heard most of the other responses, I feel like the crowd just wasn't as into this match. Maybe for the reasons I said, maybe for other reasons.
I mean, they all know again, it's Chicago. They're smart, yet kind of respectful, yet they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Like a little, like compared to like MSG and all those, I think those just, all bets are off.
Yeah. Or like a place like Philadelphia.
Yeah. I think with Chicago, it's like, it's still up there. I mean, they weren't liking, but at the same time, I think they knew that Sheamus was probably going to win too. So it's like, oh, why are we watching this if Sheamus
so that they got into this match by the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're up to the WWE Tag Team Championship match, which it's been payback, so it hasn't been that long since the championship match.
Can I say that I've kind of enjoyed, and I've been waiting for this New Day to come back. To come, because when they first came out, they're like, oh my god, this is dumb. And then this is the New Day that I thought we were going to see when they first started.
The rebellious New Day.
Like the smart ass, like even at the point where during the match, we're like, you had Xavier Woods, like, dude, what did we do wrong?
That's what what did we? New Day sucks. What did we do wrong? We're trying to get you into this match, and you guys just go for the bad guy. And I've been predicting this for a little bit that they're turning on their people, and by people I mean literally just the whole crowd. I don't. That's not how. Whoa, hey. Man, but the New Day sucks chance. They just have to deal with it, and I think the way they're dealing with it is that they're a heel team.
They have to be.
They're a heel team that doesn't know they're a heel team.
So is Kid and Cesaro good?
That's the thing. They went heel, they went bad guy versus bad guy, and it worked because given the choice, people chose Kid and Cesaro. But if it's Kid and Cesaro versus the Usos, people are going to choose the Usos or Lucha Dragons. People like Lucha Dragons, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's turned on Lucha Dragons.
No. I hope they don't turn every now.
I hope everyone doesn't turn on the Lucha Dragons.
I thought this was a phenomenal match. I love, reminiscent of Power and Glory, the Cesaro suplex to the Kid elbow.
The deadlift superplex into a coast-to-coast elbow.
That was such an amazing sequence of moves.
I'm happy I got to call that.
That was so cool.
Because they didn't say it, and I was like, "That's a deadlift superplex."
Oh my God.
I've never heard those words in order before.
Every time he does that move, I'm so amazed more and more. I don't care who he does it on. That alone is like, oh my God, Cesaro is a freak of nature.
And also, New Day are the heel team because of the tights. New Day won by pulling up on the tights. This match was.
But I really like this match a lot.
That was a 9 minute. That was a 9-minute 47-second match. Ziggler Sheamus was a 9-minute 16-second match. Also Freebird rule. How are they gonna? I'm thinking Freebird rule.
Maybe
with New Day, or just Xavier is hauled to their oats.
I really now that even though I had Kid and Cesaro winning, now that New Day won, I was like, well, I think they can do a lot more now. Like the crowd hates them, so they're gonna get that reaction. That's the good thing is even when Kid and Cesaro first started as a heel team. The crowd kind of grew to like them. New Day is kind of like already there.
Yeah,
like, we hate New Day. God damn it, we hate New Day, and that just gives me something. And I think they're kind of getting it now as far as the crowd. And obviously, even though I think this was the plan from the beginning, I think there's certain reasons which I will not get into on why New Day didn't start off the way they are now back then.
Yes.
But yeah, thank God, because now I can see some cool. I think we're gonna see some cool New Day with Lucha Dragons matches. Maybe that might be the next month's pay-per-view match.
I'm on board with that.
Or the pre-show match, apparently.
Or maybe the regular. Maybe this proved that these matches should be on the main card.
I hope so.
Honestly,
I mean, tag team wrestling is like a lost art.
It is, especially there, and they're trying. Everyone coming up through NXT. There are a lot of tag teams in NXT coming up that are worth it. Honestly, I feel like there should be 2 matches on every pre-show. One match should be like the best NXT has to offer that month, and the other match should be like 2 singles people that aren't typically on the card.
I'll meet you halfway. I would say an NXT guy with a WWE guy.
Ooh, that too.
Yeah.
The NXT guy gets a try.
Kind of like not a dark match, but also like something you can watch.
You mean the new Superstar Initiative?
Pretty much. I like that
monthly new Superstar Initiative.
I like that storyline back in the day.
That was a great storyline.
It was an
That's
excellent
how we got
reason.
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, it was an excellent reason to bring in new guys. And I loved ECW back then. It just the fact that it was called ECW, that was a problem.
Yes, but that was actually the only problem.
Yeah, everything else was
show.
It was a great show. At times, there were many weeks where, excluding the Mike Adamle days, many weeks where that was the best show of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know how the NXT is the best show of the week a lot of weeks too.
Pretty much. We get the New Day backstage with Renee Young. They don't get to say much until a giant car pulls up, and this Chicago street fight still happening.
So let me tell you why I think this hopefully in the record books that everybody always sees that I've never seen before, this should be still going. Because there's no reason why this match shouldn't have stopped.
It didn't.
Because it is a Chicago street fight. They were fighting in the streets of Chicago.
Oh, I'm with you. It should have been.
Yeah, so why? So I have it as a 56 minutes. Keep it there. There's no reason why it shouldn't be a 56-minute match.
Yeah. It just, we didn't watch it for 56 minutes.
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
it was happening.
It was happening. That's, as far as it's concerned, that's a 56-minute match.
Yeah.
And they get out of the car. Or, well, Dean Ambrose jumps from the top of the car
into the New Day.
into the New Day while Luke Harper runs to the ring. They make it to the ring, and they immediately
the chairs.
They immediately start throwing. There's probably 20 chairs in the ring. And
I was afraid that the whole fans were going to start throwing chairs. I like ECW.
Me too. Yes, oddly, they settled on an ECW chant, and then they I remember immediately there was a "We Want Tables" chant, and I just remember wow, you just want what you want. Yeah, you got chairs, but we want tables. Now we want flaming tables.
Yeah.
Do that one spot again. It's let them do their thing.
I really like that the power bomb into the chair from Harper to Ambrose. That's gotta hurt.
Oh, that has to hurt so much.
That has to hurt.
And Ambrose...
He's gone through a beating in the last month.
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ, going back to WrestleMania, that guy's gone through a beating.
And then Ambrose with the dirty deeds into the chair. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Dean Ambrose over, but the real winner here is Luke Harper.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking him seriously as a singles competitor now.
Even going back to the ladder match at TLC against Ziggler.
Same thing. Luke Harper since WrestleMania is in a place where I could see him in the ring with Sheamus tomorrow. I could see John Cena doing an open challenge for the U.S. title.
I hope Harper does that tomorrow.
Yeah. Harper shows up as I held my own with someone who held my own with you. I'm ready. Let's do this.
I agree. We agree to. I'm going to disagree with the next thing you said.
Please. Okay. Well, it's Cena Rusev. I think we're going to be on the same page about this. Great match.
Good match.
It was a good match. It's the first Russian chain match ever televised. But they've happened. Ivan Koloff, other Russians in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
But this is the first televised one.
Why is it a Russian chain? Is it just because it was manufactured in Russia?
They don't get into the specifics. The Russian chain, because you're facing a Russian.
Okay.
You're facing a Russian in a match with a chain.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever seen on television a 4-corner match without a rope. It's usually a rope. Yeah, strap match without a rope or a strap. This is the first time I've seen it with a chain.
Because even I'm trying to think, because I've never seen it.
It's a Texas bull rope match. That's a bull rope with a bell in the middle.
Was that the same? I want to know if anybody knows if that was the same stipulation as the old school Ivan Koloff matches.
That would be...
that's what I want to know. I want to know if that was the same stipulation.
I would also like to know... Someone's got a legit question, so I will ask, what's the question? While we keep talking, the video package for this Russian chain match. They talk about that. There's the tug of war from Go. So excited about this tug of war. That it's just these two big guys. This is the rubber match, or this is the rubber match. This is to decide everything. Tug of war. Rusev wins. Rusev sends Cena into the corner, splashes him. So as far as they're concerned, both lights come up. I guess this is the first time I've seen momentum, where if your momentum gets stopped, all the lights stop.
I have one question though.
Yes.
And it's one of those things where I guess we'll never ever know. What if the crowd didn't chant "We want Lana"? Because the crowd chants "We want Lana." She comes on the apron. Rusev gets mad, sends her away. What if they never chanted that?
They had to have known it would happen.
But what if it didn't? What if? Did they have a backup plan?
I think she would have.
Damn it! What if they don't chant? Damn it!
I think she would have reacted to two people, and it would have happened the same. Because I honestly didn't hear that chant. I think I was hearing a completely different chant, and I was trying to figure out what it was. And then he's sending Lana away, and I had to I had to run it back to even hear that. I like this because this is how you explain when she's in Pitch Perfect 2 in 2 weeks. I guess not speaking in a Russian accent. I've not seen these films.
I mean, not that I don't think she's going to be off TV just for the simple fact that I don't even see her in the trailer.
Yeah,
I think she has a role in it.
But she doesn't have a huge role, and
I don't think she's got a big enough role to.
And they're probably just going to talk it down and not.
Yeah, I don't even think they're going to mention it.
Yeah, but she's in a movie as a principal role that's going to be out in 8 months through WWE Films, and they're going to have to mention that. Yeah. So they're leaving a seed there for her to eventually break away from Rusev, and Rusev can talk.
I really like Rusev as a
Rusev talks. He doesn't need Lana. We just like seeing Lana. Yeah. Because she looks amazing.
But they do complement each other very much. I don't see Lana with someone else. I don't see with Rusev with someone else. I think they're the Eastern European version of Savage and Liz. Yes. I think at some point they're going to be a super baby face. They're going to go to Russia on a tour, and they're going to be treated like gods there. even though neither of them are Russian. But yeah, who
also, well, it's literally Ivan Drago and then his wife. It's all Rocky
That's
IV.
the only thing I thought of when I was at WrestleMania.
Me too.
Yeah.
That one day we're just gonna have a big event in Russia,
Nicola
and people
comes out,
and all the Russians are gonna be chanting John Cena somehow. Also, this is where we find out that Payback is happening in 3 weeks.
Okay.
So very soon. We have a very quick turnover for Payback. I like this because it leaves a lot more open to just pull up somebody that wouldn't necessarily have a big match. Also, John Cena's light is green and Rusev's light is red.
I did like the touch of the flag at the wrist where they interlock the Russian chain.
Yes, I like that too. That the flags was on. The flags were on.
Like those little things.
Those little things is a great match. I've seen strap matches like this covered with a lower third that says what light is lit. I'm kind of happy they didn't do that here because they usually cut to the wide enough that we could see it. John Cena wins. How do we feel about this?
I mean, I don't dislike it. I think it's that formula that the WWE does. It's like they're gonna give somebody a huge push, and then kind of de-push him for a little bit, and then now maybe I actually see Rusev winning next month. I don't know how because it's an I Quit match, and Cena never gives up. Somehow I see like some.
No, he needs to be able to survive. He needs to be able to survive another loss, and working with Cena is what will do that. Is that after Cena, he can just move on to face other people. I feel this was enough for him to just move on and deal with other people. Because Cena doesn't want to give up the U.S. title. Cena wants to do this open challenge and face everyone under the sun 3 times over.
See, I like the U.S. Open challenge because it opens up to anybody beating him, as opposed to if he were to do that as the world champion. You know certain people aren't going to win no matter what. If he faces Cody Rhodes, you know Stardust. He knows Stardust is not going to beat John Cena for the world title. So I like that he's a U.S. champion because it really does open up to anybody can win that belt.
And him, John Cena, holding the United States Championship brings back a level of prestige it just didn't have.
Yeah.
Even with someone like Rusev.
So I'm kind of curious if that I Quit match next month between Cena and Rusev actually is for the U.S. title.
I think that's that too. Maybe it's just because this was the rubber match. We're talking. It's a best of and then an odd number.
But they're still
John
fighting.
Cena's won 2 and Rusev's only won 1.
It's official.
It's
Lana. That's why Lana went to go see the Authority to get that I Quit match going.
People who are in the chat are saying they don't want Lana to be face. I mean, she can still be healed, just not with Rusev.
I don't know. I don't want to see them apart.
I don't either, but like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
She could just get hurt and then go away for a while.
Yeah.
Nikki Bella versus Naomi, and we get that package. What happened to Paige? Why? I was really excited for Nikki Bella and Paige for Paige to win.
Me too.
And hold her rightful.
At least
place.
Naomi got new music.
Naomi got new music and got new threats. She came out with the song.
So who's the heel in this, or who's the face in this match?
I don't know. Oh God. I read something. I think it was Meltzer this week that made everything sound really sexist about this. Like it was so sexist that I was like, I don't even think that's true. That seems like. And essentially, it was a writer who decided to remain nameless. Said that when he was at the WWE, when they were booking and writing for women, that there aren't good or bad ones. They just go crazy sometimes. That's the direct quote. That's like so sexist that I was like, I don't even think that's true. Like I honestly don't even think that's how they booked them. And then I saw this match, which for all intents and purposes, Nikki Bella is your heel, your bad person champion. Like you're not supposed to like Nikki Bella. You're not supposed to like Brie Bella because Brie Bella's with Nikki Bella. Naomi, up until turning on Paige, was a face, a good girl. I'm about to say good girl, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. But that was the dynamic up until turning the page. So now it's just who do I had trouble getting into the match because I was literally like, can Paige show up? Like this is the one time I'd want Paige on headset to just talk about how they're both awful.
Yeah, that would have been good. I mean, it was a good match for what it was. Man, I can't wait till Charlotte comes on or Sasha Banks.
I'm hearing a couple people in the chat tell me that writer has been debunked. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But my favorite part of this match was them LED shoes. Those neon LED shoes that Naomi was wearing.
Yeah.
Those were dope. So Brie helps Nikki Bella, and Nikki Bella wins in a 7-minute match, shortest match of the night.
Yeah, I mean,
if you got to give 56 minutes to another match, you gotta take some time.
that's true.
When you take some time, and now we're into Roman Reigns' big show. Here's my thing about Roman Reigns, and I'm happy they're bringing it into this. You're at the main event of WrestleMania, and at one point an odds-on favorite to beat the world champion, who a year prior beat the Undertaker, and it doesn't happen. And now you're the second to last on the card against the Big Show, someone you faced on Raw almost regularly for a long time. And they made a point to bring this up, that that's kind of a failure. Here's one question I do have. Doesn't he have a rematch? He had a rematch clause. And
Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns. I guess you have to be champion and lose.
Yeah. I would say
But you would think, but he would have a fairer claim to the world championship than Randy Orton does.
Yeah.
Because Randy Orton beat the champion. Whereas Roman Reigns...
Well, Randy Orton also never got his singles title rematch from last year. After he lost the belt after WrestleMania.
They never brought that up. That would be... And that would make more sense as to why they were facing each other.
It's little things. Like, for example, I think Roman Reigns, not that he should face... I know that he attempted to face Seth Rollins after that triple threat match on Raw. So, yes, he was trying to go for that. But I think he should be more aggressively trying to get to Seth Rollins, because it's all his fault.
Yeah.
He's the one that cashed money in the bank.
Yeah, and Big Show should be a constant obstacle.
Yeah.
Where Roman Reigns... And I try my best to not get into fantasy booking and fantasy writing, but this is the one part where I was like, I would love this match if Big Show were a carrot on a stick for Roman Reigns to get to Seth Rollins, or to get where the Authority were, you'll get, or the Authority, or just Kane, or just the way things are. Well, you had a world title opportunity or a stake at the world title, and then you lost it to Randy Orton. Well, it's like, Big Show caused that. Well, as a matter of fact, you can face Big Show, and if you beat Big Show, you'll be one step closer to that opportunity that you lost to Randy Orton. And that would at least explain it to me, and then his stakes would be high enough that it's like, bro, I beat you so many, or you can't say that, but bro, I don't even care. I just want to get through you. And then Big Show gets to get through me. I'm 500 pounds, I'm 7 foot, 500 pounds. You're not going to get through me, and then that leaves you a lot of places to go. Yeah. That said, this actual match, great match.
I've never been a big fan of last man standing matches. I think they're just so pointless and so meaningless. But I really like this match. There are a few that I like, don't get me wrong. I just never been a big fan of them personally. If I was a booker, you'd never ever hear me ever suggest that match. I just think there's other ways to do a match like that. But yeah, I thought it was really, really great. I love that these matches that Roman Reigns is having now, it's kind of this is the kind of matches she should have been having leading up to Mania. Yeah. Because that's what everybody was bitching about.
Well,
him
and
never
Bryan
proved himself.
Well, leading up to the Rumble.
But one match wasn't enough.
It's one match would have never been enough. Him and Bryan was... If there was ever a match that would have proved him, it was that.
I know that...
he just wasn't...
I know that one of the matches was against Brock at Mania. Kind of, makes everything weird. But yeah, those kind of matches. His match with Bryan, his match with Brock, his match with Big Show. He's definitely showing... My point is, he's definitely showing that he can hold on his own. But like I said, those are the matches he should have been having. I know he was hurt, but which I think should have pushed made his push go even, kind of further back. But I think, again, with that said, I was a little surprised at Chicago not, burying him, not just booming out of the building. They did respect. They did say, hey, we know, but, you definitely gained our respect. Yeah. And it definitely showed that at the end of the match.
I mean, opponent-wise, I would have steered away from Big Show here, but that's where we are, so that's what we... For what it was, it's a great... And last man standing matches with two big guys like these are how they're supposed to be. Yeah. Two big guys who can take every finisher and signature you have and stay on their feet and lead everyone to believe, who is going to stay down for 10 whole seconds.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I didn't like the finish.
The finish was a little...
repetitive? Alberto Del Rio called he wants his finishing match.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Well, but
against the same guy too, against Big
but
Show.
Alberto Del Rio had to do that against someone like Big Show because Alberto Del Rio is like a regular sized guy compared to
Which
the
is
Big
why
Show.
I don't want to see Roman Reigns do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also,
See,
just
little
a couple
things like that I think hurts him too. So, for example, going back to the Royal Rumble when Roman Reigns eliminated Kane and Big Show, it's like the only. I think you might have said it. I forgot who, but I was like, well, that's a good point. The only reason why Roman Reigns eliminated Big Show and Kane was because they were fighting amongst each other.
Yeah.
As opposed to Roman Reigns just beating the crap out of him and then eliminating him. So little things like that.
I think
don't
a
want
lot
to
of
see,
people were saying that.
I don't want to see Roman Reigns win because of the table. I just want to see him beat the crap out of Big Show and then, you know, having him.
But aside from that finish, I'm okay. Also, a couple things.
But it was a great match.
That Samoan drop through the table, lots of fun. Big Show screaming, "No table, I'm a giant." Very early in the match, big fan. And the "You sold out" chants to the Big Show. We're very on par. We're very polite compared to what happened in what happened in San Jose in what could be described as
out in London as well.
Yeah, which could be described as a not wrestling fans' finest hour.
I think the Divas match at San Jose was more of the.
The Divas match was officially not our finest hour as wrestling fans. So much so that someone in that match had to retire. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
How many Superman punches does it take to knock down the Big Show?
Apparently not enough.
Yeah, well, 5. I think there was a Raw at one point we got that answer, and Big Show runs over to the announce table. JBL Cole and Lawler scatter. And he picks up a notepad and says, "Big Show needs to lose weight."
that was funny.
And then you hear JBL on his headset. "Well, it's my notepad." And then there's a huge JBL chant. Like I think one of the top 5 chants of the night was that JBL chant, just because people are pretty ready to crap on the Big Show.
Yeah.
And speaking of crapping on the Big Show or burying the Big Show, it's kind of what happened. Roman Reigns literally buried the Big Show.
Yeah. I mean, but I think Big Show's he'll be fine. He's toward the tail end of his career. I mean, he can afford a loss.
Yeah, Big Show can definitely afford he can definitely afford a loss, and Roman Reigns could use some wins. I think what'll help Roman Reigns now is the variety of wins. Yeah. If he can get some variety from here. We got a bit about Tough Enough. Did you send in your Tough Enough submission video?
I did not.
I also did not. But if you were, as a member of the internet, I just want to let you know, shoot it horizontally, please, and don't periscope your Tough Enough video. Like you can shoot it and then just like you have 60 seconds. That's 30 different tight shots with a voiceover, shot horizontally. They made a point to let you know, shoot it horizontally, and they got interrupted by Bo Dallas. So excited. Unannounced, Bo Dallas comes out, talks about the Second City, and he's like, "I don't understand why you guys call yourselves the Second City. You're number 1." At collectively deciding not to take a shower before coming to the arena. And 3 other negs like that until your friend...
There was before that, there was a part where I kind of heard like a little bit, because he has that kind of cheesy voice, like, "Hey." Yeah. There was like part of that interview.
He turned into like, "You guys, if you just listen to me."
I love that part. He had this look on his face. I'm like, yes, that's the Bo Dallas I want to see.
Yeah.
So
just somebody who's like, "No, this is my persona. This is who I am. Listen, bro. You need to listen to me." Yeah. And that gave him a lot of range. Yeah.
And guess who showed up?
Ryback showed up.
Feed me more.
That's...
Wake up. It's feeding time.
All that, and Ryback pretty much fed.
Pretty much.
But that doesn't help.
See,
or that doesn't hurt.
When I saw that happen, I thought this was what was happening in my brain before, when Ryback was coming down. So... he does whatever he needs to do, or he's about to. Lights go out. Bray Wyatt comes out. Lights come back. He's in the ring. Because this whole time I'm thinking Bray Wyatt's talking about Ryback in his promos, which, by the way, he had an amazing promo on the pre-show.
Yes.
Then lights come on, and then they just kind of Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt have like a stare, not like don't like it's like a 5-second stare, and then Bo Dallas just walks away.
I'd love that. Just a little hints to the fact they're brothers.
Like no need to like elaborate on it. Just stare down.
It's there.
That's it. Yeah. And just walk away.
Some people who don't know will probably notice they look they have very similar faces.
So that's what went on in my head when I saw that. I was like,
and they hype up they hype up a little more about the King of the Ring tournament. Will be live this Tuesday. I will be watching it. Then we cut to Rusev. Rusev talks about how we are a country of quitters. And Lana says the rematch next 3 weeks at Payback will be an I Quit match. Okay, I prefer they both move on, but that's not where they're going. So we'll have to deal with that. And then we're into the World Heavyweight Championship match where you're in a steel cage and the RKO is banned and J&J Security and Kane are on the outside and Triple H is in the building. And did I miss anything? That's all the things, right?
Can I say I'm not a fan of the stipulation?
Me either.
It's like Randy Orton had, out of every stipulation to make, oh, you got the RKO ban out of everything, like a steel cage match. And that just, and I thought, when I saw that stipulation being made, the first thing I thought was, it's not going to help.
No.
It's not going to make a difference.
Well, but from a rule standpoint, all the matches are no disqualification.
Yeah.
So what does happen if Randy Orton uses the RKO?
I think they just said that they just implied that the match just stops.
Yeah, like that's what they implied.
Match
but
ends, yeah.
reality, like, but how would you do? Like, it would be like taking the red pill, where it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna stop the match? Is it a no contest? Do I just lose? How do I lose? You would have to disqualify me, and if there's no disqualification, life is meaningless, and we're all staring at Plato's cave.
See, what I would have done is, again, I'm not a big fan because out of all those things, if you're going to ban the RKO, instead of making it in a steel cage match, you could still had it in the cage because it's Extreme Rules, but ban the Authority, then have Kane, like, quit the Authority only to, turn on. And then he can say, well, technically I wasn't in the Authority, but now I am again, Oh,
yeah.
Like, that's what I would have done. I just thought the cage match was dumb.
Also, it's out of order, but someone, Emmanuel, he just messaged me a really cool way for Lana to get out of the Payback, which is throw in the towel on Rusev's behalf.
Yeah, maybe.
I like that.
I love Bret Hart, Bob Backlund, Survivor Series
Exactly.
94. And
All
San
those
Antonio,
things.
Texas at the Freeman Coliseum.
Oh, if you guys want to stop George, you guys know how.
I'm not looking at it. My thing is still on the Wikipedia page for Extreme Rules.
We have 5 minutes to get through this match, so we're going to rush through it quickly.
I'm a little upset at this match, though. Because in the predictions thing, I was winning or tied for first.
You were tied for
and
first.
Then he asked, and then he tweeted, "Hey, how many times is somebody going to go off the top of the cage?" I put 2, and it was 0. This close to being the champion.
But they'll never be champion again, so that's okay.
Okay.
The Randy Orton suplex. A bunch of people were tweeting at Taz about the suplex. Randy Orton busts out a lot of different moves because he can't do the RKO, including the pedigree.
I thought that was cool.
That was so cool.
I thought that was cool.
And I think
the whole crowd chanting yes was like, you just know how much they loved it.
Seth Rollins' shaky leg really sold that pedigree when he was locked up for it. We get a bit of Kane opening the door, trying to let Seth Rollins out the door. And then Seth Rollins gets pulled back in, and then we get Orton trying to leave through the door, and Kane doing his best Gandalf and telling him that he shall not pass. Which is what WWE tweeted. So whoever's running at WWE is really, really witty and understands Twitter.
That's funny.
Because after a certain point, this match is getting out of hand. Kane comes in, before that, with the "you shall not pass," Seth Rollins goes to drop kick Randy Orton. Randy Orton moves. Seth Rollins drop kicks the door. The door hits Kane. Kane hits the guardrail. They wrestle. Kane comes in and is like, "I'm just going to end this," thinking that Rollins had intentionally drop kicked him. Choke slams Randy Orton. Choke slams J&J Security. Choke slams Seth Rollins. To which at WWE tweets with a gif of Oprah, "You get a choke slam, and you get a choke slam, and you get a choke slam." It was a great job.
Fans.
And then Seth Rollins, to get out of all of that, does what appeared to be an RKO.
No, I think it was a diamond cutter.
That's what I was thinking. It was a diamond cutter or a Rollins KO.
Yeah.
Either way you cut it, he RKO'd his way out of a match where the RKO was banned. But the referee ruled him the winner. The referee and the timekeeper and all the systems in place. So he wins. And your incredibly beatable champion is Seth Rollins, and I love it.
You like that kind of when the champion's very beatable?
I love when a champion's beatable. Like the Miz, like Edge.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. I think that Like it just depends on what they're trying to do. Because I remember Jericho was like that when he was undisputed champion. But I think he's got to have at least that one match that solidifies him as a badass.
Yeah.
Just that one. And
He'll get there.
Like that Triple H kind of against Foley at Royal Rumble 2000. Like that kind of match.
And he needs a new finishing move. So this might be it.
The RKO.
He might just steal the RKO. Yeah. They might fight next month for who gets to use the RKO.
No.
Which I'm going to make 3 very brief predictions. We don't need to play the stinger for it because we are running out of time. That's, aside from a title, that's going to be the stipulation for next month's match. Or Payback, that's going to be the match. Kane is going to win Money in the Bank, or at least be prevalent, or at least be a favorite into the match. And Neville's going to become King of the Ring.
I was going to say, who do you think is going to be King of the Ring?
Those are the 3 real important parts.
I was trying to think this whole time who's going to be King of the Ring. I mean, man. I mean, you threw Neville out there.
That would be a splashy choice. To just have Neville, the dark horse. The dark horse, a low seed, makes it all the way through.
Honestly, I would think I'm going to go with Rusev. They can do so much with that. They can
Rusev
do so
heading into the Payback. But I feel like the final.
Rusev.
I feel like the finals are going to be at the Payback pay-per-view.
No, that's going to be tomorrow. That's going to be on Tuesday.
The whole tournament's going to be
the opening match is going to be Monday Night Raw.
So we're going to crown a King of the Ring
on
this Tuesday.
So and the semifinals and the finals are going to be on Tuesday.
I like that. I still stand by Neville. I think Neville deserves it. It would be a perfect way to put him.
I think they can do so
put
much
him on
with
the
Rusev.
map.
King Rusev, Queen Lana. It'd be good.
You're making it better. You're making it better, but we got to get out of here. If you guys want to tweet at us about anything, if you want to stump George Hermoza, where can they find you?
At G Hermoza. That's GHERMOZA. GHERMOZA. Hashtag Stump George. Hashtag ABTV WWE PPV.
And you can tweet at me at Steve Kaufmann. That's KUFMANN. I have an interesting announcement about ECW I'll probably be making this week, and a podcast I did back in '95. You'll find that out if you follow me. Thank you guys so much.
Feed me more.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.